Welcome, everyone. Thank you for attending our outreach event today. I'm Michelle Howard, the Director of the Small Business Programs Office. I will start out this morning by bringing you greetings and remarks from Ramada's General Manager, Randy Clark, and from our Senior Vice President of Procurement, Ms. Suzette Moore. As a member of the business community and resident of the Washington region, you understand the importance of Metro in keeping your company and the entire region's economy strong. With 91 rail stations across Maryland, Virginia, and the District of Columbia, and more than 1,500 buses operating on 325 routes, Metro provides critical public transportation for the region. Metro could not provide these regional benefits without the business community's support. You provide Metro with the tools and services needed to keep the system running safely. So we rely on companies like yours to assist with functions like IT, bus and rail maintenance, new construction, planning, and real estate. So again, I want to welcome you and thank you for participating in Ramada Small Business Programs Office doing business with Metro. I encourage all certified and those not yet certified small businesses to please get certified with Ramada. We have many procurement opportunities for small business participation as prime and subcontractors. We have 5 socioeconomic programs that you can get certified in. We have 2 federal programs, which is our Disadvantaged Business, DBE, and our Small Business Enterprise. But we now have 3 more non-federal new programs, and that's our Minority Business Program, our Small and Micro Business Programs. We are definitely open for business, and we want you to be a part of our contracting opportunities. Please remember to fill out our surveys that will be sent to you after the outreach. Your feedback will help us to plan outreaches that benefit you. At this time, I'm going to introduce our first presenter. Our first presenter will be Ms. Tamara Roberts. She is a category manager in the Office of Procurement and Materials. Tamara is a procurement professional with over 20 years of experience in the public and private sector of procurement. She currently works for the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority as a category manager / contracting officer, carrying out the vision of our Senior Vice President and Chief Procurement Officer. But Tamara began her procurement career working for a manufacturing company. She became the senior buyer at the organization in less than 2 years. She later worked as a procurement specialist with the Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission, which we know as WSSC. She was also appointed as the Deputy City Purchasing Agent for the City of Baltimore. Tamara holds a Certified Professional Public Buyer CPPB certification from the Universal Public Procurement Certification Council. So let's give Tamara a hand and thank her for our first presentation today. Thanks, Tamara.
Thank you, Michelle, for that introduction, and good morning to everyone. It's a pleasure to present to you guys how to do business with Metro. And if you bear with me, I'll get the presentation started. But feel free, I know you guys are here to learn more about how you can do business with Metro, but feel free, if you are so inclined, to turn your cameras on. It's nice to see faces when presenting. You don't have to, but again, it is nice to see those faces out in the crowd. So feel free to turn those on if you'd like, and we will go ahead and get started. So you are here to learn how to do business with Metro. Today we'll go over just a few pointers, some tips, and then you'll hear from my colleague Bex, who will walk you through our system. So we'll go ahead and jump in, and pretty much who we are. So again, I'm Tamara Roberts. I am one of the category managers. What you see here, we have 7 different divisions within the procurement office. So my team, we handle executive services. As you see, Sandra Clifford, she's over the construction team. Judy Davis is over bus. And Refilio Magosi is over inventory. Irene Mathis is over IT. John Tate Rice is over facilities and maintenance. And Fred Baum is over rail. So these are just the areas that we all service. As you're aware, Metro, we are a large entity. We don't only cover bus and rail, but we have a slew of things in between. So these are all the managers over those different areas. So who we are and what we do, we are a transit provider for the National Capital Region, and we provide safe, clean, and reliable service to both residents and visitors. I would hope that most of you on this call have either rode the bus or train, because we are one of the third largest rail systems here in the US. We carry a lot of people. If you're familiar with the DMV area, we do have a lot of visitors. So we do provide them with transportation around the city. We're the 6th largest bus network and the 5th largest paratransit service. So we are a very large entity with a lot going on. And that's the reason why you're here, to know, how can you actually get in and do business with us? So we keep Metro moving by providing expert professional acquisition services in support of the transportation service needs of customers across the jurisdictions serviced by Metro, while maintaining compliance with federal and local agency procurement laws and regulations. So we are governed by, with Metro, we're governed by the Ramada Compact and our guiding principles. So how do you do business with us? So within Metro, if you've been doing business with us for quite some time, you would recall when you actually had to come into our location located on downtown by Chinatown, where you had to walk into our building, drop off a package. Well, we are in a new time and everything is done electronically, where you have to submit everything through our Supplier Portal. And Bex will speak a little more on the Supplier Portal once he comes on after me. But that can be found on our website at Ramada.com. In order to do business with us, you have to be registered as a bidder. If you're not, you will not be able to. I don't think you can submit a bid if you're not registered. So in order to submit a bid, you have to be registered. Anyone can go on and view all of our solicitations on the portal. But in order to bid, you have to be registered. And all of, whether it's a bid, a quote, a proposal, it is submitted electronically through our system. So as I stated, we are no longer dealing with paper proposals and bids. Everything is done electronically online. I always encourage people, once you register, make sure that you keep your profile up to date. Because if it's registered with someone, an individual within your company, and that person leaves, those emails are now getting bounced back. So make sure that you keep your profile up to date so that you don't miss out on any opportunities. One other thing, you do have to have an updated W-9 so that we can set you up. So if you bid on a particular project and you were awarded that contract, if you were awarded, you have to have an updated W-9 on file in order for us to set you up as a vendor. So those are just some ways, some things in order to do business with us. One thing I did want to touch on, because I know, we talk about doing business with Metro. In the procurement office, we get a lot of calls from vendors wanting to come in and meet with us, wanting to show us the services they provide. I always encourage you all, there's not much we can tell you. So you coming in to meet with us, we can't give you a whole lot of information. So that's why I always point people back to our website, because everything you need is there. If you want to see what solicitations are open, go to Ramada.com, go to our portal. Everything that you need is there. So meeting with us, like I said, we can't tell you too much, but when you go to our website, everything is laid out there for you. So I try to encourage you to go that route instead of trying to meet with the procurement group. So this is just showing you the website on how to access the supplier portal. And like I stated, you'll get more information on this later on in the next presentation. I just wanted to give you just a screenshot to show you what that looks like. But this is on Ramada.com under business, and then it's under procurement and contracting. So again, all the information you need is on our website. I highly encourage all of you to go there if you have not, and if you're not registered, make sure you've registered so that you are notified of opportunities. So responding to solicitations. So as I stated, all of our solicitations are posted on our portal. Whether it's an IFB, an RFP, an RFQ, they are all posted on our portal. I highly recommend that you read each document. If you are considering responding to whether it's an IFB, RFQ, RFP, make sure you read all of those documents thoroughly. If you don't, there is some information that you could miss. And what happens is your bid or your proposal can be deemed non-responsive if you have not submitted everything that's required, if you missed something. So please make sure you're reading those solicitations thoroughly so that you're not missing any pertinent information or anything that you have to submit back to us with your bid or proposal. Another thing, check for any minority participation requirements. Are there any DBE requirements, any MBE requirements? You have to make sure that you're checking for that because, again, if you don't submit the required documents, your proposal or bid can be deemed non-responsive. That means we throw it out. You are not considered for an award. Pricing, in most cases, most of our solicitations must be all-inclusive. So again, make sure that you're reading that document carefully. So when you are preparing your response, you're pricing it properly, appropriately for your business. Make sure that you're including everything that needs to be included. So just make sure you're reading those documents. Be sure to submit your bid or proposal before the solicitation closing date and time. So this is important. We see this a lot in our office. So again, I spoke about how we used to be, bids and proposals used to be submitted via paper form. Back then, you could run the risk of not making it to our facility on time. And then your bid is late, we would not be able to accept it. Well, now that everything's electronic, you have to make sure you're submitting it by that date in time. So let's say today is October 3rd, it's 9/22. So let's say you were responding to a solicitation and it was due noon today. My recommendation is you should have submitted your bid or proposal the day before. Well, today's Monday, so you may not be working on a Sunday, but submit it on Friday. Because if you try to submit your bid or proposal the day of, you could run into either having system problems, maybe your proposal is too large and the system is rejecting it. So therefore, you would need to reach out to our technology team for assistance. If you have to reach out to them and their email is listed here, that could take some time. So if you're on the phone with them and you're trying to submit your proposal and now it's afternoon, it's 12:01. Well, guess what? Your proposal will not go through. So these things happen, as we all know, with technology, things happen. I recommend you submitting your proposal well in advance of the date and time, just in case you run into any issues. That's very important. The system will not allow you to submit it after the time closes. So if it was due today at noon, once noon hits, you are not able to submit your bid or proposal. And no matter what you do, you can reach out to us and say, oh, well, I was having system problems. Unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do at that time. But again, if you did it a week in advance or 2-3 days in advance, it gives you time to work out any of those kinks, work with our IT technology team to help you submit your proposal. And again, we understand we sometimes have issues with technology, but we cannot, we still cannot allow you to submit your documents after the fact. And I will share a story with you guys. This was several years ago, before things were being submitted electronically. And I was actually at another company. The way it worked, same thing. The solicitation was due, the proposals were due at a certain time. That individual came to our location. You had to actually submit it to the floor. So we were on the 8th floor. You had to come in, you had to check in, and then come upstairs to the 8th floor. At that time, there was a long line to get checked into the building, and they were running close to the time of the solicitation closing. By the time they made it upstairs to the 8th floor, it was past the time, and we could not accept it. And unfortunately, that person with their company, they ended up getting fired. This was a big solicitation, huge contract. And they missed out on the opportunity because they waited until the last minute. So I'm going to keep saying, make sure you submit your proposals or your bids well in advance. Don't do it the day of, just in case you run into any issues. Okay. So these are some tips for success, and this is for an RFP. With RFPs, you're submitting a comprehensive proposal. It's going to be very detailed. This information here, this is the proposal format instructions / requirements. This is listed in our solicitation. This is kind of your checklist. Make sure you are reviewing this when you're submitting your proposal. It's telling you, we have 3 volumes. And as you can see here, it's telling you what should be submitted in each volume. In volume 1, that should only be your pricing, nothing else. Volume 2 is your technical proposal. Now, if you submit your pricing with your technical proposal, your response can be thrown out. We have those separated for a reason when we do RFPs. We do not look at your pricing until you've made it past the technical piece. So when our team, the evaluation team evaluates your technical proposal, if you don't make it through, we're not even looking at your price. So it's important that you are paying, you're going by this checklist and submitting your response the proper way. So volume 1, price proposal. Volume 2 is your technical proposal. Now, volume 3, as you can see, there are a lot of other documents that you have to submit. So it's any requirements based on the evaluation criteria. That's in volume 3. We have a solicitation offer and award form, and it must be signed. That is also in volume 3. We have our representations and certifications. There are maybe about 10 or so pages that you have to sign. That has to be in volume 3. Your pre-award evaluation data, again, must be signed. That's in volume 3. Acknowledgement of any amendments. So during that solicitation, if we issued any amendments, you have to submit that acknowledgement that you received those amendments. So that also is included in volume 3. Proof of insurance eligibility. We'll have in our solicitation the insurance requirements. You should be submitting back your proof of insurance eligibility in volume 3. And then appendix B if applicable. So this is, again, these are just some tips for you guys when you're responding to our solicitations. All of this is in the solicitation, and that's why I keep stating, make sure you read. If you don't read it thoroughly, you can miss something, and then your solicitation can be thrown out. We won't even consider it for award. So it is very important that you are reading through these documents thoroughly. We know these solicitations can be lengthy, but it's important in order for you to provide a proper response that you are reading through it thoroughly and providing the necessary documents with your proposal or your bid. And again, this is in the solicitation. It's in the, I believe it's in the instructions, but it's here. Make sure you're capturing that and you're going through that checklist. Okay, so these are some upcoming procurements, and these are all coming out of our construction and engineering team. So we do have it on the next slide. I'll actually show you where you can find these things. But these are each, I think it's every quarter, the procurement office, we started a procurement newsletter, and I'll touch on that in the next slide. And it does have upcoming projects. And these are large construction procurements that are coming out. So the first one that's supposed to come out fall of this year is a sewage ejector replacement. The next one that's also coming out this fall is a general contractor's solicitation. And a chiller upgrades and planned rehabilitation for facilities. That's coming in the fall. And then this winter, so sometime the end of the year, early 2023, Traction Power State of Good Repair Contract 2 is coming out. And like I said, I would encourage you also to sign up for our newsletter so that you can be notified of upcoming procurements. And that can be found here. This again is on our website under business, and then it's procurement and contracting. And there's a form that you complete and you can be notified. And you can always go on to our supplier portal to see what's currently open. I would say, you can maybe put it in practice and check it every week to see if there are any new opportunities that have been posted that fall within your business line that you can respond to. And also, again, as I stated, making sure that your profile is up to date so that you're notified that way. But all of this information is all public information. It's on our website. Anyone can go on and review our open solicitations, but you have to be registered in order to respond to the solicitation. So if you are not registered, I would suggest, after this meeting, go on to our website, Ramada.com, and register to be a bidder. It looks like the website was just dropped in the chat. So please make sure you register. We have a lot of stuff, as I showed you. We have seven different divisions within the procurement office. We have a lot of different stuff coming through our office where we need contracts. So we are a large organization, so much stuff going on. Please make sure that you register, sign up for the newsletter. And I hope that this was helpful and provided you guys with some insight on how to respond to solicitations. Because again, we have a lot of stuff out there and we need vendors. So I will open it up for questions that you all may have.
The Mayor, there is one question in the chat. Who do I contact for micro purchases and simplified acquisition contracts?
So who do you contact? So again, I'll speak for simplified acquisitions. Those are also posted on our website. So that would be an RFQ. Those are posted on the portal. So you can find those there. You don't necessarily have to contact anyone. All that information is listed on the portal. For micro purchases, as far as who you contact, most of our micro purchases are done, it depends. We try to go through, well, we make this suggestion to our customers, our Metro customers, and our internal people, our program users, to use small businesses. So we do have, again, our portal where we have a list of small businesses that they use. But there's not, I can't say there's one particular person that you can reach out to. But again, the best way to be notified is from our supplier portal. Any other questions?
I don't see any more questions in the Q&A and in the chat.
So guys, I mean,
Michelle?
this is your opportunity while you have us to ask as many questions that you can. And hopefully I'll be able to answer them. But again, we want to make sure that you are successful when submitting your responses to our solicitations. So please feel free to ask away.
Thank you, Tamara. Copies of the link for the Procurement Opportunity newsletter has been put in the chat. Also, we have an upcoming outreach, Meet the Prime, on October 27th, 2022 at 9 a.m. The link to register for that event has been put in the chat. Thank you. Michelle, back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tamara. Thank you for all that information. See, that's the type of information we consistently need to ensure that our small businesses is getting that, because it's always good when we can have them go straight to the portal and then they are able to pull up the information and look through, what they need to look through. So Tamara, thank you so much. As Tamara mentioned, next presenter is Mr. Bex Amandi. He's the Senior Procurement Business Analyst in the Office of Data and Technology Management. Bex is a results-driven project management professional with over 10 years of project management experience and 8 years of data analysis experience and an additional 10 years of project management involvement. Since being with Ramada, Mr. Amandi has worked in several different departments to increase his understanding of Ramada's businesses. Mr. Amandi currently works as the Senior Procurement Business Systems Analyst and as a member of the Data and Technology Management team. As a senior analyst, Bex communicates frequently with end users to troubleshoot production level issues related to procurement applications, in addition to assisting in the coordination and monitoring of major system development, enhancements, and replacement projects. We are so lucky to have Bex on our team. He is awesome. And so I'm going to turn it over to you, Bex, to do your thing.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I'm going to share my screen. So, doing business with Metro, Ramada Supplier Portal. Today, I'll be giving you guys an overview of how to submit your responses to these electronic solicitations that you see online. Today's agenda, we will cover first, what is the Ramada Supplier Portal? Second, we will go over supplier profiles. And lastly, we will talk about the Ramada Supplier Portal layout. So first, what is the Ramada Supplier Portal? The Ramada Supplier Portal is a PeopleSoft application customized for Ramada. And the Ramada Supplier Portal is designed to conduct business transactions in a self-secure, self-service environment through an internet-based portal for current and potential suppliers. This will also be the primary source for Ramada advertised solicitations. So supplier profiles. Suppliers who are individuals or organizations who are interested in conducting business with WMATA, first they must complete the new supplier registration that can be found on the WMATA Supplier Portal website. And that website is www.supplier.wmata.com. Supplier profiles continue. Once registered, supplier profiles within the WMATA Supplier Portal are characterized as either bidders or vendors. So this is definitely a big distinction I would like to stress to you guys. A bidder and a vendor are considered two different entities in a sense, and they have different accesses and roles that they are able to see. As a bidder, you're able to access active solicitations. You're able to view and submit bids, proposals, and quotes. You're also able to view awarded contracts. You're able to update your business address and contacts as well. You're able to apply or renew your DBE certification. You're able to reset your password. And you're also able to submit prompt payment. And if you're a subcontractor, you're able to submit your prompt payment reporting as well. The main differences between a bidder and a vendor is that as a vendor, you've been awarded a contract or a PO, and because of that, you're now able to review purchase order transactions, you're able to acknowledge POs, you're also able to review invoices. So next we will discuss the WMATA Supplier Portal layout. And we've recently undergone a bit of a facelift recently. And once you log into the supplier.wmata.com website, you will see a new landing page. A few new features suppliers can expect to see are, the first one is the home page. Home pages will provide tiles or action icons that's very similar to the functionalities currently available on most smartphones and tablets. We've created 4 different home pages to hopefully make navigation a bit easier on your Supplier Portal experience. The first home page is called the Supplier Portal homepage. Then we have the Manage Supplier page. Then we have the Purchasing and Accounting page. And last but not least, we have the Social Economic Services page. I also like to make you guys aware of another feature that's been added, which is called a Quick Access or nav bar. And with the nav bar, users are able to retain access to the previously saved favorites and continue just to be one click away from most recently visited items. So I think that definitely will help you guys navigate and be able to go back into your favorite pages just a bit easier. So the first thing you will have to do once you land on the WMATA Supplier Portal will be to sign in. And the sign-in tile is located on the left corner of your page. Prior to performing any action within the WMATA Supplier Portal, you must be signed into your account using your registered user ID and password. The next tile I'd like to make you guys aware of is the active solicitation tiles. By selecting this tile, suppliers may view active public solicitations opportunities or solicitation notifications. This information is viewable by registered and non-registered suppliers. So you don't have to be an official WMATA bidder or vendor in order to view the active solicitations. I believe one of the questions someone asked Tammy a minute ago was, I guess, how do I find those simplified or micro purchase solicitations? You would simply click the active solicitations tile here, and any and all solicitations that are currently available will show up right there. And if you have any additional questions, definitely feel free to follow up to the listed contract administrator or buyer. They will be best able to assist you in answering any questions you may have about that solicitation. But this is definitely the tile that will definitely lead you to a lot of opportunities right here, the active solicitations tile. The next tile is the view bid opening. And by selecting this tile, suppliers may view the bid opening results along with the listing of suppliers who responded. This information is viewable once the solicitation closes. Definitely a great way to be able to stay up to date as to what's going on with solicitation after you've submitted your bid. Next, we have the solicitations under evaluation. By selecting this tile, suppliers may view the status of a solicitation while it's undergoing the evaluation process. This information is viewable once a solicitation closes it once again. Once again, it's another great way to stay up to date on your solicitations that you may have submitted a response to, just to kind of keep you up to date to see what's going on. The next tile we have is the awarded solicitations. And by selecting this tile, suppliers may view solicitations that have been awarded and the amount of the awarded contract. This information is viewable as far back as 2017. It's a lot of great historical data within the awarded solicitations tile. I definitely encourage you guys to take a look when you have a moment. The next tile we have is the inventory qualified parts list. By selecting this tile, interested suppliers can view the WMATA parts list for future procurements. The next tile that we have is the announcements. And I definitely would encourage you guys to stay up to date as to what announcements that we are pushing. For example, I believe that this outreach event should have been on the announcement page, but you're able to stay up to date to see procurement activities such as outreach events, fairs, or business changes. Definitely great for you guys to stay up to date as to what any changes that WMATA may be going through by selecting this announcement tiles. FAQs. We receive a lot of FAQs all the time, and I guess in order to better assist our vendor community, what we did is we created a lot of different job aids and questions that kind of provide those answers for you by just a single click away. So by clicking the FAQ tile, you can definitely view popular, frequently asked questions regarding doing business with WMATA. WMATA Supplier Portal help. So along with the FAQs tile we also included another tile called the WMATA Supplier Portal Help. Here you'll be able to find job aids that will provide you step-by-step instructions and screenshots for you to follow in order to achieve a certain task within the system. I definitely encourage you guys to take a look at this page. If you guys are wondering, hey, I forgot my password, how do I get my password? Or, hey, a member of our organization is no longer with us no more and he had our login credentials. These job aids and this WMATA Supplier Portal help button would definitely help provide you just instructions to what you should be doing next in order to get a certain task accomplished. And just to continue with the WMATA Supplier Portal help tile, it provides downloadable content for you to be able to navigate through the WMATA Supplier Portal. There's also a link to the FAQs to assisting answering commonly asked questions. This definitely would be my first point of contact right here. If I have a question regarding anything on the Supplier Portal, I would definitely take a look at the FAQ section, also along with this WMATA Supplier Portal help section as well.
Excuse me, Bex, is it any way that you can make your screen a little larger? Some of the audience is having some difficulty seeing it. They said it's appearing smaller.
Give me one. Don't want to minimize. Give me 1 second.
Because the view that we're seeing, it might be different from your, there we go, that's much
That's a
better.
little bit that's better?
Yes, thank you so much.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Contact information. The contact information tile provides links to the customer support departments to assist with your questions, concerns, or issues regarding the WMATA Supplier Portal. For questions related to accounts payable, we have an email address to apsupport@wmata.com. That's who you would contact for any questions regarding accounts payable questions, maybe regarding payment. For any questions related to certification programs, you can contact the SBPO hotline at wmata.com, and a member of that group would definitely do their best to assist you guys. And if you have any questions related to the Supplier Portal, we ask that you please email the PRMT_supplier support@wmata.com mailbox, and one of our members of my team would definitely be more than happy to assist you guys as well. So the WMATA supplier homepage layout. I mentioned earlier that we've recently undergone a bit of a facelift. We have a new supplier portal layout, and I wanted to kind of dive into it a little bit more to kind of show you guys what to expect and which you guys should expect. So we went over the home page. The next page is the Manage Supplier Profile homepage. And on the Manage Supplier Profile homepage, suppliers can view and update their address. They can update their contact information. They can manage their NAICS codes. They can attach documents such as a W-9 document or banking information. And you're also able to change your password as well. The next page is the Purchasing and Accounting homepage. On this homepage, suppliers can view purchase orders, acknowledge purchase orders, able to view your order summary, you're able to view receipts, and you're also able to see payments as well. The next page we have is the Socioeconomic Services homepage. On this homepage, suppliers can submit their DBE, SBE, MBE certification. They can also submit their vendor prompt payment reporting as a prime or as a subcontractor. Now I will open the floor for any questions that you guys may have.
Good morning, Bex. There are no
Morning.
questions in the chat or the Q&A. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat or Q&A.
I don't mind maybe waiting 30 seconds to a minute to allow it folks to, if they're thinking of anything, please feel free to ask. This is definitely a great time to ask a WMATA representative about any questions you guys have regarding Supplier Portal. Okay. There are no questions. Just like to remind you guys again of how to contact us if you have questions in the future. For issues or questions related to the WMATA Supplier Portal, please contact the PRMT_supplier support@wmata.com mailbox. For questions related to DBE or SBE, please contact the SBPO hotline at wmata.com. And for issues or questions related to solicitation opportunities, we ask that you please contact the contracting officer or contract administrator that's listed on the solicitation document. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Bex. We really appreciate that so much.
Welcome.
This is
You're
all
welcome.
such great information here. In closing out today, I want to say thank you again for attending our presentation today. Thank you to the Small Business Programs Office Outreach Team, Marlo, Shanae, and Anthony. And of course, a big thank you to our presenters, Tamara Roberts and Bex Amande. Please remember, certification is the key to participation, and we look forward to your certification applications coming into the Small Business Programs Office. Any questions that you might have after the fact, please feel free to send them in. We will get responses to you on them, and we will get those back out to you when we send out the surveys and the information from today's presentation. As Marlo stated, our next outreach is the Meet the Primes, which will be on October the 27th. So please get registered so you can be in attendance to ask questions and hear about the different opportunities that they have coming up and they need small business participation. Have a great rest of your day and thank you so much for choosing Metro. Bye-bye.